Hello. So, things have been a little crazy lately for me. I haven't updated in a while. I'm sorry. But it's been, I've been really busy. Um, Out of the whole entire month of November, I calculated that I've been in Amsterdam without having someone visit me for a total of 9 days in the whole month. So I've either been traveling somewhere or I've been hosting someone. Oops. So it's been crazy, but it's also study abroad. I've got to take advantage of my time, so I have no problems with that. With all my traveling or my hosting. Uh, so 2 weeks ago, I went to Prague, which is capital of the Czech Republic, and let me just say that it was fantastic. Um, the feeling that you get when you're in Prague is that this city was a grand city going into the 17th and the 18th century, and then they just decided to stop developing. And you feel like all the buildings are from the 18th century, all the streets are from the 18th century, that the city looks exactly the same for the past 300 years, um, which is just absolutely beautiful. The people, though, people keep evolving, technology keeps advancing. So basically, the sense that I got in Prague was that it's the 21st century, uh, community in an 18th century city, which it's really cool. Um, Kind of similar to Amsterdam, but even more more you know like that, more classical than Amsterdam. So first, I'm going to tell you about the best part of Prague, which was this view from a hill. Geographically, Prague is split by the Charles River, and on one side of the river is most of the city, and on the other side of the river is this hill. And this hill has a castle because back in the day, Prague used to be the capital of one of the empires. I think Austria-Hungarian, but I could be wrong. Anyway, it was the capital of an empire, and so there's a castle on top of this hill. So you are allowed to walk up this super steep hill. There is a funicular, which is basically like a tram that just takes you straight up this steep hill, or you can walk it. Some of the group decided to take the funicular, and other people decided to walk it. I was in the walking group, and I'm really glad that I was because the view, not only at the top of the hill, but on the way up, was absolutely breathtaking. Also, this was right in the middle of fall. We're talking mid-November. This is fall season, and the leaves were falling down. The foliage, the leaves were different colors. A lot of it was on the ground. It was breathtaking. So I really, really enjoyed the view. And then near the top of the hill there are these benches for you to sit on, and there's a clearing where there are no trees in front of you because most of the view has some trees in front of you, but this area has no trees in front of you, and you get a direct view. The river, the whole city, and just all the way to the mountains on the other side of the city. You get to see the whole horizon. The view is similar in scope to the view from Park Güell in Barcelona, which I talked about before. So it's similar in scope that you're able to see everything. It's also similar in scope to the view from Montmartre in Paris. So, uh, so yeah, it's fantastic. Uh, and I was sitting there for maybe 10, 15 minutes, just really, really enjoying this view. That had to be the the best moment of the whole weekend. Um, so let's start from the beginning of the weekend then. Now that I talked about my favorite moment, um, I was supposed to leave on a Thursday. but I made traveler's mistake number one, the rule you can never ever break. I got to the airport, I'm ready to check in, and I realized I forgot my passport. I was so angry at myself. You have no idea. Um, it was also there's only one Amsterdam to Prague flight via EasyJet, the airline that I was flying. So I couldn't go until the next day. I lost a whole entire day of my trip, not to mention €60 to change uh, the ticket. I lost it all because I forgot my passport, all because of a stupid mistake that I had made. I'm always a very good traveler. I've never missed a flight before in my life, and then in a 2 week span, first in London and now in Prague, I missed two flights. So very upsetting. Um, then the next day, I was able to make it into Prague, but I went to my hostel, and here's something else you should know when you're traveling. If you don't show up for the first day of your reservation, the following days are not reserved. They just cancel the whole reservation. I didn't know that either. So sure enough, my reservation was canceled, which really sucked. But I wasn't traveling alone in Prague. I had um, my other Amsterdammers who were staying at another place. So they were really nice and gracious enough to let me crash there too. So I wasn't posting up on the streets. But it was frustrating to go to the hostel on my own and then realize that my reservation was canceled. So I get to the flat where we're all staying, and it's already 11 o'clock on 11, the 11th of November, 2011. So 11/11/11, and we were all ready to go out. We went to this bar, which it was crazy. It was like a very small entrance, and then you walk in and you're thinking, oh boy, this is going to be some tiny cramped bar, and then you go downstairs and you see this huge room full of people, and you're basically in the basement, and you're just like, holy cow, this is actually pretty big. But where's the bar? And then you keep going, and you just see these huge rooms, and then you go downstairs again, and I felt, there were like two or three basements and rooms, huge rooms full of people before we finally got to the bar. It was kind of like a labyrinth, a labyrinth of a bar. And then once we got to the bar, we decided we were going to be extra wild, and we took shots of absinthe. I had taken absinthe before, but the first time that I'd done it was using the distilled water and the sugar cube method to like mix water with absinthe, but this time in Prague they just gave us straight absinthe shots, and my opinion is that the straight shots are the better way, because sure, it tastes like crap, tastes like really really crappy licorice, but it's also done much quicker. You take one, you do it, it's like getting a shot. You just get it done and then it's over, rather than a mixed drink, which just takes longer and it burns more. So yeah, so we were pretty sauced by the time we got to this club, and I would say imagine a Central European club, not as flashy as a club in America or a Western European club. That's exactly what this club was like. It was prototypical Prague club. You walk in, this kind of narrow entrance, and then it opens up into this massive room with, this woman is dancing on stage. You got this DJ playing in the back, and it's just like, and he's playing like, hardcore house music, and it was awesome. It was packed, and I had a really good time. Periodically throughout the time we were at the club, a few people left, but me and then four of the other people, we stayed all the way till the end, which was about 4:30 to 5 o'clock. I think 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was great. I had a really good time. The music was great. The atmosphere was really cool. So definitely, I can't remember the name of it, unfortunately, but hopefully, if all the clubs in Prague are like that, then I promise you, you'd have a good time. Uh, okay, the next day happened to be Celia's birthday, so that was exciting. Uh, in the afternoon, we went to this hill that I was talking about before. We walked around for a while, and then we went back down over the. We saw the. Oh, great moment was when we went to the Lenin Wall. Basically, um, the Czech Republic, while it was still known as Czechoslovakia, was part of the Soviet bloc, and the assassination of John Lennon, kind of was a catalyst to a liberation movement, a successful liberation movement away from communism. So there's this huge mural, yeah, this huge mural on the wall, and it's it's awesome. It's painted. There's stuff painted and then painted over that and painted over that, and there's a lot of Beatles lyrics and a lot of. It just looks really cool. That's definitely a place you have to go if you're in Prague. So we went there. We crossed the Charles Bridge over the Charles River, and on this bridge, there are like statues of. They're just statues. I don't know. I guess they're of kings of whatever empire Prague was in, but it looks really, really cool. It just adds to the sense that you're in a historical city, a really historical city. So we went over that bridge. We went through the center of town. We came back, took a little nap, had a surprise birthday cake, and then we went out to dinner. We went to this place which was really cool because they had a tap, like a beer, like a draft of beer, right at the table. So you can control. You just pick a number, and then you can control how much. Excuse me, how much you drink. So you get to wash your own cup too. It was just really awesome, and the Czech beer is so good. Dutch beer is great. Czech beer is quite good too. So I drank a lot of that, and then we went back, drank some more, and then we decided we were going to go to this club that was an 80s and 90s club. It was mostly 80s though, but it was also a music video club. So you walk in, and there's screens everywhere, and every the screens are playing the music videos of the songs you're listening to. So it was absolutely awesome. I love 80s music. I love it to death. I was belting out the hits right along. There was a stage. I got up there. The rest of the group, we all got up there. We were just killing it on stage. The funniest thing was thinking that the 80s songs were like pop songs in Prague, like they were just released. If you thought that, that was really funny because it's like, Living on a Prayer, Every Breath You Take, Billie Jean. Reminds me of that guy in Bratislava in Eurotrip who's like just quoting stuff from the 80s because he thinks that it's, because it just came out in Bratislava. That's what I was thinking of. Even though Prague is definitely not like that, it was just really funny to think that. So that was another really good night. What else happened? Then the next day, our flight was in the afternoon, so we only had a little bit of time. We got breakfast at this really cool place across the street. And then we went to the Old Town Square, where we saw the famous astronomical clock. So it's this clock that basically tells, not only it tells time, but it also it tells the moon cycle. So that was really cool. And every hour on the hour, they have this little chiming, and this it's really fun to watch. There's a huge crowd there, and there was also this festival. They were, you know, it was like a fair. You got beer, you can get sausages. Just a really really good environment. I really like Prague. And another thing that I really liked about it is how everyone spoke English. Um, before, besides Amsterdam and London, all the other places, people speak English well, but obviously there's an accent. There's always a little bit of a struggle between what you like, communication. But in Prague, I was just so pleasant, like I was so pleasantly surprised how fluent people were. Um, there was a very, very slight accent, really easy to communicate. So I really, really enjoyed that. The one thing about Prague that I wasn't too crazy about was the weather. I'm assuming that it's due to the fact that it's not near a body of water because it's much more south than Amsterdam, but it was much more colder than Amsterdam. It was in the high 20s, low 30s at night. During the day, it was like low 30s. I'm sorry, high 30s, low 40s. So it was a bit nippy, but it was well worth it. So beautiful, so historical, and then the nightlife is really great. Um, so I seriously, seriously recommend Prague, and I definitely the one when I was leaving on the plane ride, I was lamenting the fact that I had forgotten my passport and had lost a whole day of being in Prague, but I will be back. So that was my trip. Now there's only one city on my list of places that I wanted to go before I came here. There's only one city left that I have to do, and that's Rome, and that's happening next week. So I'm really excited for that. Um, but yeah, that was my weekend in Prague. It was a good one, and I highly recommend it. So thank you.